7:53 p.m. on a Thursday, Boston, Massachusetts.
Guys, I got some news, some terrible news. We got a huge problem.
I feel like we could do a podcast, and it would be a million times better than whatever that drivel was we were listening to.
What the hell is a podcast? What is that? The future of radio, you jabronis.
Heyo, and welcome to the Always Sunny cast. I'm your co-host Eric.
Yeah, I'm your co-host Ross.
And this is the podcast where we break down Always Sunny in Philadelphia, episode by episode, scene by scene, and just sort of see what makes it so funny, see how comedy works, and just try to figure it out. Like a study in comedy, I would say.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that was wrong, but, it sounded right. To a degree, We're just chatting about It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, really.
Yeah, we're just breaking down the episodes, having fun discussing them. And today's episode, I would say, not only is today's episode one of my favorites of this season, but I think it's one of my favorites of all time.
Wow, you're putting this ahead of World Serial Defense?
Well, I'm saying it's up there. I'm saying it could certainly crack the top 10. And this is a season. This season just keeps on giving.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This season has a special place in my heart.
This is like a low-key episode that has so much funny in it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's not one of those episodes that,
it's
like,
very
breaks
playful.
out. Yeah, it's like, but it has so much good stuff in it.
All right, Eric, before we jump into it, could you just put away those crackers? It's going to, make a lot of noise.
I would do my best to keep my crunching off mic, but I'm sorry, you might hear a little bit. I don't know. I got to eat these crackers, and it has to be now. So.
Okay.
Today we're talking Season 6, Episode 4, Mac's Big Break. Original air date is October 7th, 2010. Written by Rob Rosell. Directed by Randall Einhorn. And Ross, what is the IMDb summary of this episode?
Okay, after Mac wins a radio contest to score a goal on the Flyers' ice, he and Charlie train for the event, badly, while Dennis and Dee start their own radio program.
They're hesitant to use the word podcast.
I was going to say, I was going to say, was that summary written in 2010? Because they seem to have never heard of a podcast.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they probably wrote it right away. Yeah, I don't know. That is interesting. We will talk later what their ultimate goal is, because they do try to give it to people who are on the radio. So are they trying to make a radio show, or are they trying to make a podcast?
Oh, yeah, that is interesting. It's like they're making a podcast. All right, we'll get into it later.
Yeah,
but
we'll get into it later. Get ahead of
the short of it is I think they're making a podcast to get on the radio.
Right. And this episode was written in 2010, and so Ross, you usually bring to the table some sort of thing that was going on in the world in 2010. What do you got?
Okay, I have an article from the AV Club, and these are the best podcasts of 2010.
Oh, nice. Now, hold on a second. Now, we've both have been podcast listeners for a long time. When do you think you would say you started listening to podcasts?
I would say about this time. I'd say in
I would
2010.
say earlier. I would say we probably listened to podcasts around 2007, 2008.
I put it around 2008 or 9.
Okay.
Because some of these podcasts are very like of the time. They don't exist anymore.
Okay, right. Okay, let's hear them.
The Pod F Tomcast.
Oh, yes, love that one.
Right?
Absolutely.
Me too. Very easy listening. That put me to bed a lot.
Oh, yeah.
And we get The Nerdist.
Okay,
I haven't listened to that in a long time.
Well, I didn't think that exists anymore, but yeah.
Comedy Death Ray.
Wow,
Radio.
Before they changed the Comedy Bang Bang.
Right.
Nice.
WTF with Mark Maron.
Sure, I've dipped in and out, mostly out, but I've dipped in.
Yeah, me too. Never Not Funny.
Of course, I'm a regular listener still. Yeah, love Never Not Funny.
I haven't dipped into that in a while. It's a really good one.
It's the best.
We get the BS Report with Bill Simmons. I guess it's a sports thing.
This I'm unfamiliar with.
Yeah. Slate's Hang Up and Listen. That's another sports one for you.
Okay.
Doug Loves Movies.
Wow. I haven't checked in on Doug Loves Movies in a while, but I used to be a pretty regular listener.
I know, me too. Weekly for years.
Yeah, totally.
Film Spotting.
I don't know what that is.
Gonna skip over a few because I never heard of them. Savage Love.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's a Dan Savage sex podcast of some sort.
Yeah.
And The Moth.
Oh, okay.
And Stuff You Should Know. I bring up Stuff You Should Know because it's an antique of a podcast that's been around for a while.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I dipped into that when I was first getting into the podcast. I was trying everything.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Me too. Like Stuff You Should Know. Oh, just like two pleasant guys talking about something you'd never heard of. So.
Yeah. I used to listen to Radio Lab all the time and stuff like that.
Oh, I loved Radio Lab.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, nice, Ross. All right, yeah, nice. Some podcast trivia. I like it.
That's a blast from the past, really.
It really is. All right, let's get into this. Cold open, 9:30 a.m. on a Thursday in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. At the bar, the entire gang is listening to the Preston and Steve show as Mac and Charlie attempt to win at a trivia question. So we get them here in the bar now. This radio, we see Frank, D, and
yeah.
Dennis
gathered
listening to
around.
it. Yeah, gathered around. Is this this is outdated, right? At this point,
It's an old radio
for 2010, it's gotta be, right?
Yeah, I like iPods were around, like.
Yeah, it's just keeping with the old tech kind of idea that Always Sunny kind of always employs.
Mm-hmm.
And now Preston and Steve, should we talk about Preston and Steve now, or?
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way.
Okay.
So 93.3 FM, WMMR, is a rock station, and this is like a kind of like a, two guys. What would you call this? Like morning zoo radio or something?
Yeah, kind of. They're pretty famous. Yeah.
Okay.
I think
in Philadelphia.
Yeah, in Philadelphia. But yeah, I think they're like.
Because I never heard of them before.
Well,
this, so.
We have talked about them before because they were construction workers on a previous episode. Patty's billboard episode.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Wow.
Yeah, so they actually made a little cameo in a previous episode, not as themselves like they are in this episode, or unless they were themselves as construction workers. Who knows?
That's their other job there.
but it's interesting that this is like, like when the Sklar brothers came on to be DJs, it was like a fake DJ thing. But this is real. This is a real Preston and Steve.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it's a real thing. It's kind of interesting.
They're keeping it really local this season. There's a lot of like local things.
I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking how Philadelphia this is. You know what I mean? And how like
inside baseball.
Specific to Philadelphia, and like how I was thinking like, oh man, there's nothing like. I wish there was something like Boston like that, like comedy like that, but there really isn't.
No, not of this quality.
Yeah. Oh no.
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. And but yeah, it's just kind of cool. Like if you were in Philly, you'd be like, yeah, I know this. You know what I mean? Like I know this stadium. I know this. Like I know Preston and Steve. You get like an extra jolt.
Even later, they go to like an ice rink.
Yeah, we talk about that.
Like a local ice rink.
A real ice rink. Yeah, we can talk about that later. But yeah, so now Preston or Steve, I don't know which one's which, but one of them was saying. He calls this stupid trivia. If someone could win this stupid trivia. Now, what is stupid about asking like the lead scorer of a single season of a team?
I think it's just like he's saying it's like an arbitrary sports question. I
guess. It's just funny to call it stupid. I don't know.
Or maybe it's them just like acknowledging how arbitrary, you know what I mean?
Isn't it interesting too that we're going to find out that Mac is trying to get to this beach house, but he has to win this trivia and then also win the slap shot.
Yeah, there's a lot of like hoops to jump through.
So Preston and Steve explained that there's a trivia contest here to win a chance to go to this beach house where there'll be like, they'll be there and celebrities and I don't know. Have you ever like won or participated in anything like this?
No, it's funny. My aunt, for years would like participate in like a radio contest, like Kiss 108. That's a Boston, or I think it's like nationwide actually. Kiss 108.
Oh, maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but for Boston, there's Kiss 108, and she would participate in these all the time, and she won a trip to Florida at one point.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I won a raffle once, but never anything where like I had to call and like answer something or
Participate.
whatever. Yeah, participate in some way. Yeah, no, I never.
Be a contestant of some sort.
Do you remember like radio stations? That, like, did you ever call radio stations and stuff?
I called to get tickets. Remember when we used to listen to a Boston radio show in the morning?
Yeah, what the hell was the name of that
like
show?
the breakfast show. It
Is that what
turned
it's
into the
called?
breakfast show. But
Okay,
previous
yeah.
to that, it was something else.
Yeah.
And so I called in just to get tickets. It was like I just talked to some jabroni on the line that works for them.
Yeah,
They gave me tickets to a show.
Jabroni. Okay. Yeah, no, I used to call that show because they used to have this like voicemail, and you could like call and leave a voicemail, and they would like play it. And I used to do like characters and voices and shit.
That's
they would,
right.
They would play some of them, and so. But I also used to call like the Jim and Marjorie. Like when we used to listen to talk radio before podcasts, both of us would listen to talk radio.
Yeah, this is our gateway drug right here.
Yeah, it was.
Because we were in our 20s, right?
Yeah, we were like in our early 20s, and we would listen to NPR talk radio, and we liked it.
That's all we had, dude.
Yeah, but truly, though, Jim and Marjorie was funny. Like, truly, it was funny.
No, they were pleasant.
Yeah. But I would call them and stuff sometimes and everything like that. But that's all gone, huh? It's gone. Calling it a radio. Can you imagine? So, Dee has a question, though. Who would want to win a trip to go to this beach house?
With these two idiots, as she says.
It's interesting that, like, she does know who because she lent them their phones and stuff and knows what they're doing back there. You know what I mean?
Right.
She knows who. But we get a great smash cut to Charlie and Mac in the office. They have all these phones laid out on the desk.
And did you notice, like, behind them, because they were sitting like in front and behind the desk.
Right.
There's a radio. So is this radio diegetic?
Well, you know, when you call these radio places, they tell you to turn your radio down.
Okay. So how are we hearing this?
Yeah, I think we're hearing the phone call. I think we're hearing the voice through the phone.
But there's several phones.
Yeah, but he even says like, "Oh, this one. This I'm hearing out of this one." When because we see them here with all these phones and they got them on hold and they're trying to get through. They're getting busy signals. They're panicking. But then when Preston and/or Steve picks up, Charlie even goes, "Oh, it's this one. It's this one," and he points to one of the phones that Mac like picks up.
Okay.
And
I'll take your word for it.
And I think we're supposed to be hearing the voice. I mean, or it is through that. But when you really do this in real life, they tell you to turn the radio down because you're a few seconds behind because of transmissions and the way it is. Like it's not like exactly like
live.
Yeah, you just the way it works. You're a few like seconds or minutes behind what's actually being listened to. So that's how they can like. That's how like
censor
stuff, bleep things and stuff like on live TV and stuff. Sometimes they can do that. It's because there is a delay. So yeah, so they get through. Holy shit, they got on.
Holy shit, they got on.
It's such a great two thing in a row.
Yeah, like a beat back to back, but like also like it's an always sunny. Holy shit! Like,
yeah, right. Yeah,
I love a holy shit. Please don't curse.
Yeah, please don't curse. They say that they don't do. They say that the next time.
Oh, they say it this time, but also later.
Okay, yeah.
They buzz him about it.
Oh, that's right. They go, please don't curse, and he just ignores it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so they ask a question here: who got the most goals in a single season for the Philadelphia Flyers? And they go straight up into what do you call this? Panic mode? What are they? What mode are they? They're like
yeah, they're in a panic because Charlie's behind the computer. He's being like the tech guy, looking up the answer, right?
And I was gonna say maybe it's just me, but I could not think of a worse person to put on the Google than
right.
Charlie.
Someone that is illiterate and can't even find the H key.
Wait, there's no H key. There's no H key. So yeah, it's a hockey question. So. He's going to
start
hockey
with H
for some reason. He's going to start with H. He's not panicking, and they're freaking out, and because they're trying to cheat. Obviously, I mean this goes without saying that they're trying to cheat.
Yeah, not hiding it really, but think. I got to think like that guy that sits on the rock, the one with the big muscles,
the green guy.
I like how we get the cut to the bar.
Well, yeah, that's what I say. We get the cut back and forth. So while the scene is playing out, it's like a cut back and forth. It's like a split screen, like in in improv or something, this would be like a split like scene.
Right,
where,
right,
like,
right.
one side is doing one thing, the other side's kind of
Action and
reacting
reaction.
to the other side of it. Yeah, so we are getting these nice little shots back and forth to Dennis and Frank.
Mm-hmm.
And they're having great reactions. And it's funny when he's trying to think of the guy that is sitting like this, and they're going, the thinker. They're saying it.
They both know instantly.
But Charlie comes up with the Hulk. He thinks, and then Mac has an incredible line. The Hulk, like, literally never thinks. He goes, the Hulk doesn't think.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah, he says, like, the Hulk
There's a lot of
literally
talking
doesn't think.
over
I know,
in this episode. A lot of good lines get missed.
The Hulk literally doesn't think. This is so funny.
Shit, I know this.
Dude, you gotta stop cursing.
Look, you can't censor me, okay? I'm a bit of a badass.
This is like a great, like, I'm like, to refer to yourself as a badass is very funny.
Well, he's got a whole project about it.
That's true.
Project Badass.
That's true. They can't censor him. He's a bit of a badass.
I like that he is like, he doesn't care who he's talking to.
No, like, he's all panicky except for when he says that line.
Right.
And finally, though, he's like, you know what? I'm just going to guess. I don't know. And he just throws a name out there, Reggie Leach.
Correct answer.
And this is
Dings, whistles.
Dings, whistles, like silly sound effects.
Sounds.
And Charlie gets up, and Charlie's reaction of just screaming is so funny. And like it cuts right at the perfect moment.
Perfect. Yeah. Really well timed. And this comparison has been probably brought up a million times, but like in this shot, he kind of really reminds me of Bobcat Goldthwait, like Police Academy era.
Yeah. I see that. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah. Did you look anything up on Reggie Leach or anything?
Yes, I did. He was born in 1950 from Manitoba, Canada. He played from 1970 to 1984. He was in the Boston Bruins, the California Golden Seals, Philadelphia Flyers, Detroit Red Wings, and he was nicknamed the Riverton Rifle and the Chief.
Oh, nice. The Riverton Rifle.
Yeah, it's kind of a badass name.
Yeah. Now, and we should also, before we like get out of this scene, we should talk about Mac's shirt, right? Did you look anything up for his shirt?
I did. It's in my notes, but like deep down.
Oh well, it's just it's the Fall River Marksmen, a soccer team from Fall River, Massachusetts.
That's right. You can actually buy that shirt. I have the website somewhere down here in my notes, but we'll get to it later.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When that comes up, I'll just blurt it.
Okay, cool, yeah, and nice Massachusetts connection there. And we know that Rob McElhenney just bought a soccer team.
I know. So I guess he's always had a passion for the world's football, because that purchase always seems strange to me. I was like, doesn't that sound like weird to buy a
No,
a
I
sports
don't know.
team?
Like, I guess like you gotta figure he's pretty wealthy, right?
Yeah, sure. I guess it's one way to throw your money around.
Yeah,
but
it just seems like something.
I guess he
like-
also enjoys.
Oh,
soccer.
totally. Yeah,
So-
totally likes it too. But like, also like, even if like, say I was just like had a ton of money and someone was like, "Hey, you want to like go halves buy a soccer team?" I'd be like, "Yeah, sure."
Yeah, no kidding.
You know what I mean? Like, or like, yeah, okay, you know, like. But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool connection, especially for Fall River, Massachusetts. Russ, have you ever been to Fall River, Massachusetts?
No.
Yeah, no.
Have you?
No, I don't think so.
I can't even point to it on a map.
No, I have no clue.
If I had to guess, it's by Worcester,
Yeah, I don't know.
but that's probably wrong.
If I had to guess, it's by Topsfield.
I think that's.
This is real specific Massachusetts content. But all right, yeah. So we get the title card, Mac's big break.
Mhm.
It is Mac's big. This is a big. They squander a lot of opportunities, so this is good.
And he actually says big break. This is my big break later on.
Oh yeah, that's right. He does.
It's
yeah.
weird he says the name of the title.
Yeah. So then after the opening credits, in the bar, the gang discusses Mac and Charlie's life-changing opportunity and Dee and Dennis's conversation skills. Comes out Charlie singing here. This
Yeah,
like little
Max got
improvised
his-
tune.
yeah. I'm gonna go to the beach. It's gonna make our dreams come true. Down at the beach, that's what we're gonna do. Ooh, 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 ooh. And Max got his arms up. Like,
Yeah.
did you notice that?
Yeah.
I thought that was the weirdest. Just
Now they're not going to the beach house.
not yet.
No, they have won the ability to try to win to go to the beach house.
Right. They want an opportunity to go to the.
Right. They're getting a
beach.
little ahead of themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's what. Yeah, they say that this is a life-changing opportunity. That's how they're phrasing this. This is like such a huge deal. It's a life-changing, and they want to like even D's like, how? How is this life-changing?
Yeah, Dennis is like, excuse me?
Yeah,
I was spending the weekend at a radio show beach house, life-changing opportunity? Like, he's got a good question there.
But it seems
I don't
like
see...
it seems like Mac has a plan.
He thinks there's going to be celebrities and athletes at the beach house,
Yeah.
and he's going to sew himself into the inner circle. He's going to become a local sports legend.
Mac thinks he's going to do this.
Why would he be a local sports legend for this? I don't. Are these types of things even televised?
That's a good question. That is a really good question. A local sports legend, like by getting the puck in an unattended net. Right? Is that like essentially what it is, right?
Well, there's a cardboard cutout of some sort, and there's a hole. So it is a little bit of a challenge. You know?
I thought I thought it was I thought it was like paper, and you like have to just break through it.
Oh, maybe it is paper. I don't know. I don't know what that thing's made out of.
I
But
don't know
it seems like
either.
there's a hole at the bottom.
Oh, maybe that is what you have to do. Yeah, that probably makes more sense.
Mm-hmm.
But still, I don't think even if you get that, I don't think you become a local sports legend. I
No,
think you
not
have to play the sport.
Right, and many do, and they still don't become sports legends.
Yeah. But of course, this is Mac. Like this is so on brand, so on game for him of just this idea that he's like somehow like the chosen one or something. You know what I mean? Like he's somehow like so good at stuff that he's never done.
Right? Yeah, that's a good point. Like he is like giving himself quite the pat on the back for having done nothing yet.
Nothing. And then we come to find out he doesn't know how to do it.
Oh, not even close.
So
He can't
it's-
even skate, as we find out.
Yeah, it's interesting. And so this is where we find out that all those phones were Dennis and Dee's. They give them their phones back. Nice like, mid 2000s like Blackberries and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know, Ross. Do you think they should? Frank wants them to berate him about minutes. Do you care that they used all their minutes? Do you care about minutes?
I never did.
No, of course not. Like, what?
I was
like,
never really on the phone long enough to rack up minutes.
Minutes was like, how long did like cell phone minutes last? Like 4 years. Like it just like went away like pretty quickly.
Yeah, so for the youngins back in the day, there used to be like minute plans, like you can have 100 minutes this month, and if you go over, you get penalized with an extra fee. And then they did that with text messaging, and now they're doing that with data, right?
Yeah.
The cell phone companies, you know what?
And when they mentioned these minutes here, like Frank's like, hey, get on them with the minutes. Get on them with the minutes. They wasting minutes. I was like, whoa, what a.
I know.
I was like,
how old is this?
Yeah, I was like, are they making a joke that it's like old, or was that actually what was going on?
But as Dennis says,
does say no one gives a shit about minutes anymore.
Yeah. So like it is like Frank just being an old guy, not being in touch, you know?
Yeah. Because it would be even hard to even track your minutes or even know like, or you know what I mean?
I think in the day when there was like the minute plans, you could text a number, and then you would get like you would see on the screen how many minutes and text messages you've sent.
Right. Oh, okay. Yeah. And like how many you had. Imagine that, like having like a limit of text messages.
I'd be over, dude.
Katie would be in so much trouble. Her phone is going off like.
She only texts people, right?
Seriously, man.
I think we all do.
She'll have like 30, 40 like pending texts because she's in like a group chat with like 7 other ladies, and it's just like it's going off nonstop. I couldn't even imagine. You know what I mean?
That's amazing. I can't even imagine having 7 friends.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And Dee here though is funny. Dee does give a shit. You know what? She does give a shit about these minutes. You know, she knows it's stupid, and she's probably buying into the phone. You know, the phone company's propaganda. But there it is.
Yeah. So Charlie wonders like why Frank is taping them.
Right, because Frank has this like, I mean, this is like talk about old technology. I mean, Frank has like a leather bound.
Yeah.
Like what? Like what is this? Describe like a tape recorder, but describe that to somebody. Like what this is.
It's like a black little box. You put a cassette tape in, and apparently it just records. It just sound.
Yeah, it'd be like those things you'd seen like an FBI would like press play and like on like an interrogation. Like it's big.
It kind of reminds me of the tape recorder Charlie had in the
right
when he's doing the what's it called?
Not Scarface, the
you
Al
know
Pacino.
what I mean.
Yeah, Al Pacino.
Yeah, Pacino when he's doing Pacino.
Yeah, Scorpio.
Scorpio. Scorpion. We're so close.
Mr. Scorpion. It's Scorpio, but don't call me that either. What is his name?
I don't know.
We're gonna edit this all out. But what was his name? It's driving me nuts.
Spicoli.
Scorpio. Scorpio. It's something Scorpio. I think it is Scorpio.
No, it is. It can't be Scorpio.
Serpico.
Serpico.
It's Serpico.
You thought it was Scorpio.
So yeah, so he's here asking what's going on with this recording, and apparently he's recording them for like his car rides because they have good conversation.
Yeah, and his stereo is busted, so he needs something to listen to. They got good jib jab.
Good jib jab, a term I have never heard before. Have you heard that term before, jib jab?
No, but I think it's like isn't that like a TikTok thing, like a jib jab?
I have no clue, dude. No idea.
I don't know. Kids know.
Kids know. Yeah. And this is where we hear our intro line.
I feel like we could do a podcast and it would be a million times better than what that verbal was we were listening to.
You ever like when you hear that, do you like think of our intro?
Absolutely. Every time. And it's like crisp and pure too. I'm like, oh man.
Yeah, so they're thinking about doing a podcast. They're thinking about doing a podcast here. But Charlie's like, what's going on here? Like, you guys aren't happy for us? Is like basically what he's saying.
Yeah, because they're so Dennis and Dee are putting down like Mac and Charlie's like opportunity here.
Yeah, it's stupid to them.
And yeah, they think they're wasting their time. So Charlie's like, hey, you know what? Why can't you just be happy for us? Like, why do you have to be so sad sometimes? You're dark souls.
They're dark souls. This is so great. They're dark souls. Yeah, like, and he's right. Like,
they are. No, yeah, you're right.
And so this is where they like basically like, all right, we're gonna do our own thing, and this is where we get to split off of the episode because they don't really connect until the very end. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they split off. They're going to go learn hockey. And it was the Thinker, by the way. It was the Thinker.
Couldn't spell hockey.
And,
ooh, zing.
Don't talk anymore until Frank flips over his tape. Don't talk anymore. But he recorded.
Oh, shit.
He recorded his Luther Vandross mix.
Now, do you know any of Luther Vandross songs?
I couldn't tell you a single one.
Me neither. I looked up, and I guess Endless Love is one of them, but it didn't even sound familiar to me.
Okay. Okay, I don't know.
Nah, that means nothing.
So then, outside the bar, Charlie tries to teach Mac how to score a hockey goal.
Okay, dude. Now, we're both in agreement. This is probably like the biggest opportunity either of us have ever had in our lives, right?
We are not men who get a lot of opportunities, Charlie. The few we've had, we squandered.
We squandered them all. That's why we gotta stay focused, Mac. I mean, this is big time. This is pro sports, right? We gotta do this right. You gotta look good.
Yeah.
And you can't miss that shot, right?
I really appreciate you helping me, dude.
Absolutely. Well, a little pee-wee hockey experience never hurts.
You're good.
Okay, so first things first. Hold the hockey stick.
Hold the hockey stick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good, because I was thinking I'd have a position sort of like this.
Why would you do that?
All of my instincts and my training tell me to use this as a weapon.
All of your instincts and your training are wrong. Hold it like a hockey stick or people are going to boo you. The Philly fans are brutal, dude.
All right, fine.
All right? Right. Then you just sort of hunch down a little bit. Okay?
Done.
You might want to hunch. You look stiff, you look like a G.I. Joe action
Probably
figure.
fine. Okay.
Loosen up and
What
hunch.
if I do this?
That's way stiffer.
That's pretty good right there, Charlie.
You look so awkward.
Bro, when you tack on mass, you sacrifice flexibility. That's just a straight up
That's
fact.
insane. Touch your toes.
What am I, a gymnast?
Yeah.
Charlie, teach me how to shoot the
All
shot.
right, fine. Calm down. All right. What you're gonna want to do is just gently sort of guide the puck at the net, like a tiny bowl of cream you don't want to spill, and you're guiding it.
I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go out there and take a wicked slap shot, Really make a name for myself. Otherwise, I go out there, I look like a jabroni.
You know what? Yeah, we might want to work on some kind of routine, huh?
Thank you, exactly. So I go out there, I showcase my weaponry.
Uh-huh. Pump the crowd
Really
up.
get the crowd up.
And raise the roof on them. Okay. But you know what? You can't take a slap shot before you even know how to handle a stick and a puck. So we just glide one just to get the form, and then we'll get bigger and eventually slap shots. But it starts with gliding like cream. Go.
Gliding like a jabroni is what I'm gonna be doing.
Jabroni. Okay, go.
Well, that didn't do
Well,
anything.
that was pretty pathetic. You're
Yeah,
right.
well, the problem is I'm out in the elements, dude. There's so much wind and sun,
All
and
right.
this asphalt, that's not regulation.
No, it's not
So it's not gonna
regulation.
slide.
All right, you know what? You want to do this the right way?
Yeah.
Let's go to the ice. Let's get some pucks. All right? We'll slide. We'll take a few slap shots.
go
We'll
to
do
the
this the
ice.
right way.
Let's go to the ice.
Let's go to the
This
ice.
is it.
Now that was pretty long of a clip, but it's such a great scene, and there's just so
Yeah.
much fun and funny here.
Mm-hmm.
First off, they're drinking. They're already drinking.
Yeah, I was gonna say they have a 6-pack.
It's like gonna be like what 9:40 a.m.
Yeah. So it's 10 minutes after the opening sequence.
Oh, I was gonna say too about earlier. There's a lot of people in the bar for 9:30 in the morning in the background. There's like a lot
Yeah.
of people in the bar.
Yeah, and you know what? Dennis and Dee are actually doing work.
Yeah, Dennis has like a towel over his shoulder and stuff. Like he was like
Yeah, they're cleaning
stuff.
glasses. And
Yeah.
very rare to see them do work.
Well, they Mac and Charlie out here, they agree that this is the biggest opportunity they've ever had, and they're not men
Yeah.
that get a lot of opportunities.
No, the few we've had, we squandered.
Exploded them all.
What a fun word.
I can relate to this. I can just relate. Like I get it.
Wow.
And
I'm jealous that you've had opportunities.
I squandered them all, though. Don't worry. So we find out here that Charlie did some Pee Wee hockey.
Yeah, we get a little backstory of the Pee Wee hockey.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. So he's gonna teach Mac like how to do this. And now it's weird. Like I guess Mac answered the question, but it's sort of like just let Charlie do this.
Yeah, I was wondering the same thing. Why didn't they just let Charlie do it?
Yeah. So all right. So first things first, hold the hockey stick.
Well,
Hold the hockey stick. He says he briefly goes, hold the hockey stick. Well, and he says
all my instincts in training tell me to use this as a weapon.
no. And all his instincts in training are wrong. But that is so funny. And Max starts like swinging this like he starts swinging around like it's like a bow staff, and he's doing the whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. And
his own sound effects.
It's just so funny, like, and I get the impulse of like having something in your hand and pretending that it's like a bow or something. I get that impulse, but like,
Right.
rein it in. Like, all my instincts and training.
They're all wrong. Charlie brings up a good point that, if he's not holding it like a hockey stick, people are going to boo you.
Yeah, the Philly fans are
the Philly-
brutal.
I mean, they hammer people.
Yeah, we know this. They hammer people. Yeah, we're well aware. So first things first, haunch down and get into like a stance. So you just want to haunch. He wants them to get down there and haunch.
Like this?
Yeah, the way he does this is like, and he's like, no, you look stiff. You look stiff like a G.I. Joe. And just like a good improv scene, you get stiffer.
Worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So and like he does this like little smile.
Dude, the
like
weird
this.
crooked smile made me laugh every time because he looks insane.
No, and I meant to mention this at the top, but this Now, if you're a new listener or whatever, you haven't listened to us earlier, we don't talk about it much anymore, improv, because we don't really do improv anymore. But it started out as sort of a dissection of comedy to help with improv, like just to understand what is funny. How do you put comedy together? Like a math problem. And this scene, they tell you in improv when they start learning, they tell you not to do a teaching scene. You're not supposed to have one character teaching another character how to do something.
Exactly.
And this is a teaching scene. This is a 2-person teaching scene that works so incredibly well.
Yeah, it's perfect.
It is perfect. And it's because they're willing to Charlie's willing to just go along with Mac, even though Charlie's the one teaching him.
So there is a little bit butting heads, but they quickly make up.
Right.
And go past it.
They go past
and
it, yes. Even though Mac is being taught, Mac has higher status.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Isn't that interesting? How this is
because he still wins and gets his way.
Right.
Eventually someone has to win. You can't fight the whole time.
Right. Yeah. And this is just such and I would say if I was teaching improv, I would say watch this episode as how 2-person scenes should go.
Exactly.
Everything that happens with Mac and Charlie are 2-person scenes.
And also how to get yourself out of a teaching scene in the right way.
Right.
Because those sometimes do come up, because you're just thinking on the fly, you get nothing, you just go out there with whatever, and sometimes it turns into a teaching scene, unfortunately.
Yeah, and they are hard to it's hard not to just tell someone to do something and the other person just does it, and there's nothing funny about that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's teaching him, haunch down. He gets even more stiff.
More stiff.
And when you tack on mass, dude, that's what you sacrifice flexibility.
That's insane. Touch your toes.
What am I, a gymnast? The way he goes, what am I, a gymnast? That's what I would say too. What am I? What are you talking about?
Yeah, me too. Can you touch your toes? Actually,
not a chance. There's not a chance. No.
I can barely touch my knees.
Now, is this the first instinct we hear of Mac mentioning tacking on mass, putting on mass? Has he said this before? I'm not sure he has.
I'm not sure he's mentioned himself talking about mass in general, but we've heard him talk about mass before.
Now, what does he mean by the term mass?
Dude, body mass alone.
Predator, yeah, for sure.
So he has talked about body mass, but not. I don't know about himself. He has gotten his pump on.
And I'm not sure what he means.
Bulk.
Just bulk with not muscle, just bulk.
Mass. Yeah.
Mass.
He's just trying to be a larger body.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's part of his training.
And Charlie tells him, okay, this is what you want to do. You want to do the putt, and you want to gently slide it into the goal. Just gently slide it in like it's a bowl of cream. You just want to gently slide it in. Now,
is the bowl of cream a reference to something?
I was going to ask you that.
Because I looked it up, and I didn't catch anything except It's Always Sunny, but it feels like such a specific reference, right?
Yeah.
That we both triggered us to want to know about it, but...
Yeah, I know. Like in another thing, it was like a bowl of water.
Training of some sort.
Yeah.
In a different movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know where he comes up with this cream thing. Like a bowl. Why does that have to be cream? Could it be anything?
Yeah. But cream, I don't know, something gentle about it.
Mac's like, I'm not going to do that. What are you, crazy? He's going to do a wicked slap shot.
Otherwise, he's going to make a name for himself. Otherwise, he'll go out there and look like a jabroni.
Right, yeah. And they should probably come up with a routine then. Where does Charlie come up with that? We should come up with a routine from what Mac just said.
I don't know, but it's a good pivot, right?
Yeah, it is.
Because now Charlie's thinking about this as like a show.
Pageantry.
Exactly, pageantry. Because he takes that step further in their training. So... Yeah, so Charlie's thinking about this as like a routine, go out there, pump up the crowd.
Yeah, and when they start doing the pump up the crowd, they're doing this little shoulder dance, up raise the roof kind of thing.
Yeah, raise the roof.
Then they both start doing it. It just that also reminded me of improv, where your scene partner will start doing something funny dance, and then you just start doing it too because it's fun to do.
Yeah,
that's all good. Okay, that sounds good. But first, it starts with gliding cream.
Just get the form. We'll get bigger and bigger, and then boom, we'll get that slap shot.
He goes gliding it like a jabroni, and then Charlie goes jabroni.
Jabroni. Okay.
Like he registers the second time. He goes, okay. He said it twice.
He's keeping tabs of it. He's like, okay, this is a word, but I don't know what it means
like
yet.
What is that? Like, what is that? Like,
It's a good detail. It's a good setup because Charlie's
like,
tracking it.
It's genius to like put that early on, because he could just say later on, "Hey, you're saying that a lot," and still be funny.
Right.
But to put this little him like recognizing it.
Yeah, it's a little Easter egg of
Yeah. It's
something to catch.
It's very cool. Like, jabroni. Okay. He repeats it back to himself. It's very funny. He just takes it in. You know what I mean? He just like takes it in. Like,
Yeah, he's absorbing it for later.
So Mac tries to hit this like squashed beer can they're using as a puck, and that was pathetic.
Yeah, it doesn't really go far.
No.
But Mac blames it on the elements, there's too much wind and sun. And that asphalt, that's not regulation.
No, and he even like the way he like gets down, and like what is he looking at when he gets down?
He's looking at the curve of the street,
And when he says this is not asphalt's not regulation, he means what? It's not regulation to hockey?
I guess it's not as smooth as a hockey rink is.
He also blames the sun and the wind.
Yeah, I mean, well, the sun's a huge factor.
Oh yeah, sure. The elements. He's out in the elements. He puts it.
I like how inconsiderate that they are. That like Mac even has his beer in the street.
Oh yeah. Now they look like they're outside the bar. They look like they're in like some industrial parking lot. Like
yeah, they're outside the bar. I think
they are. Yeah, I think. So. But like the where the bar is so crazy. It looks
you
like
never find it.
Yeah, it looks like where like you'd be like unloading like crates from a ship or something.
Yeah, some shady shit goes down there.
Yeah, like Daredevil's back there, like looking for information or something.
Bingo is hanging out.
Bingo. So then in the office at the bar, Dee and Dennis attempt to record their first podcast as Frank watches.
I like how they just get right into it. They have all the equipment. It's all set up. And
do they have all the equipment? Or else do they have all the equipment?
Well, they think they do.
Right. I mean, there's one mic.
That bums me out because the sound's going to be shitty.
Yeah, they're so far away from it, and it's just like hard to do with one mic. It's just like, and it's like, I don't know, like the headphones, the mic, it all looks so like cheap. I don't know what the word is for it.
Yeah, because they have like a laptop, and laptops in those days were terrible. Like, I mean, I can't imagine trying to run anything on a laptop then.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if he could have done it. Why? This is where Frank asked the question we hear at the beginning of every episode. What's a podcast?
Dude, when he says that, it brings me to the intro again. There's a lot of lines in here that we've ripped.
They're all from this except for the guys, good news, terrible news. That's the only thing that's not from this episode. So they don't tape podcasts anymore. They put it on the microphone. That's what they put on the computer. Is what Dee's saying to Frank.
Yeah, teach him about technology a little bit.
Yeah.
The big T.
Well, yeah, the big T. Everyone's talking about it. And Frank's eating crackers here. The most annoying food you could pick to be eating on mic.
Right, real crunchy sounding. They're like saltines, right?
Yeah, like big, like dry saltines. They start the podcast. No real intro, just Dennis and Dee here. I guess that's the name of the podcast.
Yeah, he starts it out every time with Dennis and Dee Reynolds here.
Now, we should say that on the DVD extras, you can listen to 4 of the podcast episodes that they have.
3 of them.
Oh, 3, yes. You listen to them, right? Anything interesting?
Well, they just seem like improvised scenes between Dennis and Dee. And they're even sitting at a different position, so clearly this is like just for extras. And
I thought it was just audio, but it's film too. It was video.
Yeah, it's a video.
Oh, okay. So yeah, that's on the DVD, the season 6 DVD extras.
Right, they're like 4-minute improvised scenes. They're really good though. They're kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, it's nice little.
No
just
huge takeaways, but like you could see this is like not really edited. Like it's like straight up them improvising, and they have a good flow. I have to say.
That's just a nice little fun thing to add. It's cool.
Yeah, they do like major topics in those too, like Border Patrol, serial killers, and terrorists.
Oh,
so
okay.
check them out if you can.
Well, here they're talking technology, the big T.
Absolutely. Everybody's talking about technology because it's everywhere.
Being so generic, they do even later on. They get even more generic about stuff, but they're just so like vague and just like not specific about anything they're saying.
Right. Like, what's your opinion on it? Like, what is that doing for anybody? She's not a technology expert, you know?
Yeah, like, and by the way, she doesn't know what her opinion is on it because she looks at him and melts the word opinion like in a question mark.
Right. They came unprepared. Dead air.
That is so funny.
Just to
Like,
call it
the
out.
way he says it, too. He says it in a way like
Come on, guys. What is this? Like, that's his attitude towards it. Like,
like entertain me.
right.
Yeah. Dead air, and Frank's bored. He's gonna bring in his guest. Cricket, get in here.
Guest? Like, wait, Frank, you can't just bring a guest in here. This is our podcast. I feel like you're trying to take over.
This is what Frank does. He does
Exactly.
Take over.
He every time they sit down to do this, he takes over. And you know what? It does become more interesting.
So Dennis is thinking maybe this is a good thing though because Cricket can come in and they can reel on him about the homeless issue. They can reel on him. Like, what does he mean? Like they're gonna berate Cricket about this?
They're gonna press him on it.
Like, yeah, okay.
I don't know.
So Cricket comes in. So yeah, we get a nice cameo of Cricket, and he comes in and he's looking for his chicken.
Frank, where's my chicken? It's taking forever. Come on.
And we find out that his voice is messed up, and he explains that it's because of the neck wound he received when Frank threw a trash can at him. Ross, do you remember that?
Of course I do. I have the shirt from that
That's
from
right.
Das Bootleg.
The trash man.
Yeah, the trash man.
He throws a trash can and eats garbage.
Oh, can I sidebar real quick?
Yeah.
One time I was wearing the trash man shirt, and I saw two gentlemen walking down the street. They're both wearing wrestling shirts. One of them is wearing a Stone Cold Steve Austin shirt.
Okay.
Do you know what that looks like?
I mean, yeah, probably is like he's got his hands up. There's like lightning and stuff behind him.
Yeah. And like a big skull.
Sure.
And the other guy is wearing a Ric Flair t-shirt.
Woo!
And I point to my shirt and I'm like pointing to their shirts and they just look at me like I'm an idiot.
Well,
like,
you are an idiot. What does that have to do? What does that have to do with it?
It's a wrestling shirt.
Yeah, not really though. I mean,
I don't know.
You think that your shirt of Danny DeVito as the trash man from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a wrestling shirt?
I mean, prove that it isn't.
I guess I can't. I guess.
All right.
Court is adjourned.
Slam the gavel.
So yeah, so like we remember him last time. He was the Taliban and he was fighting against Frank's the trash man and the Birds of War. He was kicking their ass.
Oh, he was cleaning house.
Oh, definitely. But then Frank came in with the trash can and he caught him with an edge, as Frank says in that episode.
Must have had an edge.
And we see the result. And this is going to be a sort of like a pattern. They've established a pattern here where each consecutive episode, when something happens to Cricket, it stays.
He gets worse and worse, right?
Right.
We've seen him devolve, like, you know,
Yeah.
class-wise, right?
Yeah.
Now we're going to see him devolve physically.
And his like wounds, like they don't like, you know, give him a wound and then the next episode you see him, it's like if we saw him this episode and they didn't mention that, like whatever, right? Who cares?
Yeah, we wouldn't even think about it.
But no, it happened and it stays and it's canon.
It's great continuity, I think.
Yeah. That has to hurt his throat, right, David Hornsby?
To talk like that.
He has to talk like that. He has to talk like that all the time now. Like every time they do Cricket.
Does he hold it? Does he keep that voice like later on? I was wondering.
I think
that,
he does. I think that's his voice. That's the Cricket voice.
Oh, I thought it was just because it was infected at the time, you know?
Oh man, we gotta try.
We gotta keep an eye on that, yeah.
Keep an eye on
I'm not going to look it up now.
Remember that whole episode that's just about cricket? Where he like, gets a job, he like, reconnects with his family and stuff.
Oh, yeah, Cricket's Tale.
Yeah, Cricket's Tale. So Cricket, so he's in there and he explains about his neck wound. Dennis is like, let's get this going. Let's start talking about the issues. But no, not until he gets his chicken.
I love that. Just being so petty about the chicken. No. I'm not saying another word until I get the chicken.
Turns out Frank was lying about the chicken.
Are you kidding me? Oh my God, unbelievable! Why do I even trust you?
It was bullshit. He never had a chicken, but he got some lemons for him.
Oh, well, they're good for scurvy.
Yeah, he even says like, well, at least give me the crackers.
At least give me the crackers.
And then he said, yeah. So he takes the lemons, and all right, fine. He's gonna suck on a couple of lemons, and then he's out of there. They start saying, so Dennis asked him basically, what's a day in the life for you, Cricket?
Oh boy.
And there's this amazing monologue that Cricket goes on. It's absolutely amazing about how he woke up with this dog sniffing at him, and the dog's aroused, fully aroused, mind you, and he was sniffing around his neck. Yeah. Now when he says
something. What does this jerk want?
What does this jerk want? He thinks about the dog. What does this jerk want? He says. Anybody knows what he wants, you know, but he couldn't. He couldn't say it. Not that he could. And
he takes a bite of the lemon.
It's dark.
The beat of that. I love it.
Then he gets back to his story. And, you know, maybe his neck wound does look like a dog's vagina. He's not going to get into the mind of a dog. The way he says that, like, I'm not going to get into the mind of a dog. Like, the way he like does all that, it's incredible.
Yeah. That's God's work. Well, not that I believe in God. I don't. Not since that stole my kidney.
That racial slur.
Yeah. Not a fan.
But that's just kind of like, it's a Cricket, like, just has lost it. You know what I mean? Like, this is Cricket, like, like truly, like, this is the Cricket that we will know going forward. Like, does he get really any lower than now? I mean, yeah, he gets his face burned and all that stuff, but he basically does the same things.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. He's pretty
the way
consistent.
He talks and acts and stuff now is like this. This is the Cricket. And so he told a story about this dog and whatever. Like, this is like, he kind of like, Frank like interrupts all this. And he's like, no, why don't you tell Dee that she's ugly?
Well, that doesn't make any sense, Frank. He doesn't think I'm ugly. He's madly in love with me.
No, he's over her, actually.
Since when?
And the way he he's like kind of, his back is kind of turned her, and he like, when I found you, he kind of looks over his shoulder. He's like, he has like a lemon peel in his hand.
Yeah.
Like, have you ever eaten a lemon?
No.
Yeah, of course not. Like, it'd be so crazy. They are good for scurvy, though. But yeah, apparently he's over her, and they get into this shouting match. They start calling each other crazy shit.
Well, maybe you're a whore, you stupid, ugly, homeless bitch. Maybe a dog banged your neck the other day.
Oh yeah, well at least someone's banging my vagina. You know what I'm saying? And then Frank's like, yeah. Frank's out
Zing.
Crazy. But Dennis doesn't like this.
Oh no! This is not good radio.
Yeah, he's out on this one. Why do you think he doesn't like this?
I think he thinks it's devolving, but you know what? He's not any better later. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he joins in. Like, right now he's playing I'm better than, but he devolves.
So then at the Ralph R. Rizzo Sr. ice skating rink, Charlie and Mac practice hitting pucks. What do you want to tell me what you have on Ralph R. Rizzo Senior Ice Skating Rink, the best kept secret in South Philly?
It's located at 101 South Front Street, Philadelphia, and that's all I have.
Okay, on their website, they make it well known that they are the best kept secret in South Philadelphia.
Well, you can't just go blabbing about it.
I'm not sure what that means exactly, but yeah. Why are you keeping it a secret?
I mean, it's the best for a reason, Eric.
I mean,
okay,
it's on a television show. It's not that secret. I mean, I saw it. I live in Boston.
I mean, tell Ralph, okay? Don't put this on me.
I want to
Direct
speak
your
to Ralph
anger at
Sr.
Ralph.
I want to speak to Ralph Sr.
And if he's not around, I want to talk to Junior.
Yeah, oh, definitely. So, yeah, this is a real play. It's pretty cool. So we go in here, Mac's swinging the stick around, making the karate sound effects.
Yeah, they're just walking around with sneakers, by the way, on the ice.
Oh, yeah, just walking straight in there. And he's going to do something like to come out to the crowd, like jazz them up, like USA, do some dancing, USA.
Yeah, not like that, because Mac has played it like a guitar.
Yeah. No,
Make it classy.
Make it classy.
Charlie has a thing for wanting things to be classy, doesn't he?
That's true. He does. Yeah, he does. But, of course, Mac is going to be wearing the duster.
Oh, of course you're going to be wearing the duster. It's going to look awesome. But you should probably also be wearing a wig.
And Charlie's explanation of it flowing and being more dramatic, he does this like head thing as he kind of like motions how the hair would be flowing around. It's so
flowing,
funny.
yeah.
Like, just the way...
I think that is a thing in like theater in general. Like you want to be bigger than yourself to project an image to the audience, right?
Yeah.
You would want to be wearing a wig. You would want to be wearing a big hat or something that stands out.
But this is like, so they bring up this, Mac brings up, well, if he's going to be wearing the wig, he'll have to wear it at the beach house, and then he's wearing to keep appearances, and he doesn't want to be like Andre Agassi.
Yeah.
Do you know about this Andre Agassi thing?
I did. I kind of knew it from like just pop culture in general. I heard it.
Yeah.
But I have some information, yeah. So he turned pro at 16, which was in 1986.
Wow.
And then he started balding in 1989. So that's 3 years in. So that's when he started wearing a wig. So for 6 years, this guy wore a wig till he eventually just shaved it. He went for a shaved look, which was just him being himself. I guess it was actually holding him back from playing.
Man.
Just to make like worry the wig is gonna fall off.
I mean,
like,
I'm a bald. I'm basically bald. I get it. It sucks.
And you can't keep a wig on that thing. I mean, we've glued it on, we've stapled it on.
No, but my convertible, it just keeps flying out while I'm driving down the highway.
I mean, you have a need for speed, so
I can't get the top to go down. They're like, but maybe just don't. Let's not rule it out. Let's not rule the wig out. Let's just keep it floating as a floating option. So we get a mention of the duster, and they just say the duster, like we all supposed to know what the duster is.
Right. We all know the duster too well.
Don't you love what is the word the duster on like a whiteboard somewhere in the writing room? Like, how do they remember to bring the duster back?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Because it comes and goes in the weirdest times, right? Like Mac's funeral.
Yeah, and like now, there's no reason right now why the duster would be broken out. Like, there's no reason practically.
I mean, I think it's just to look cool. I mean, that's a good enough reason.
Oh, definitely. It looked like Lorenzo Lamas. Definitely.
Yeah.
But like, it's just like they don't have like this would be just. It wouldn't be as funny. Obviously, the duster makes it funnier because Always Sunny has that little special something. But it would still be funny without the duster.
Oh no! But we have to add.
Yes.
We have to build.
Yes. So okay. So they're gonna do some shots. I almost wish he was like, let's do some shots, like Dennis was in the Marine Pond. Let's do some shots. So they're gonna do some shots. He's gonna hunch down, and he does this like ridiculous miss the puck and then hit it backwards kind of thing. But it brings up the question of, was he just going to slap the puck forward into all these people who were like, because there are ice skating people
yeah, we should mention.
Circles.
Yeah, there's people just free skating around the rink.
So, I mean, he hits it backwards and he almost hits some people when it flies backwards, but he would have almost certainly done the same thing if it went forwards.
Right. It wouldn't have been any better. In fact, it could have been worse.
It would have been worse because it would have looked way more malicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So then this guy comes running out, this guy presumably who works here. Do you got anything on this guy?
Yeah, rink official is Tom Virtue. He was born 1957 from Sherman, Texas. He was in Lois and Clark, The New Superman, The New Adventures of Superman, Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, Murphy Brown, Ally McBeal, Nash Bridges, X-Files.
He was in Return of the Jedi?
Yeah, he was Darth Vader.
He was Darth Vader?
No. Star Wars, Return of the Jedi, radio drama, I should say.
Okay, all right,
He,
okay.
He played Major Derlin. Do you know Major Derlin?
I don't.
I feel like you would have been the guy to ask because it is Star Wars.
Yeah, that's a little too much for me. Too deep for me.
But he was in Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, shoot. Who's he in Voyager?
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader? Because he does look familiar to me.
Okay. Maybe you caught him on Murphy Brown.
Yeah, that's probably it. So he comes out, and they can't be out there swinging sticks, and they have skates on.
Yeah, don't worry about it, bro.
Don't worry about it, bro.
Mac just doesn't care who he's talking to.
But they get kicked out, and they're going to leave. Maybe that guy was right. Only jabronis don't have skates on out here. And Max starts talking about, what they're going to do with the
Can I stop you for a minute?
Yeah.
You keep using this word jabroni, and it's awesome. Like,
it's awesome. Yeah,
it's like the coolest word ever. Is that like a hockey thing?
And he says it's some racial slur word.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to repeat the word because, in the dictionary it says noun, offensive. That's what it says in the dictionary. But I found this racial slur particularly interesting because it can refer to 3 different types of ethnicities.
Yeah, it's pretty vague.
Italian, Spanish, or Portuguese speaking person is usually what
it's almost like a Latin slur.
Well, what is that? Just like racist is so lazy they just need a catch-all. Just one for everyone. It's
Look,
like
asking white people to remember more than one word is
more than
real
one
taxing.
racial slur. Yeah, yeah. Seriously, it's like 3 really. And that's such an old-timey word. It's like I don't even ever hear that word.
No, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
I feel like I heard it in the 90s a few times, but
But the context of how I heard it was like it's like weird. It's like I don't, you know what I mean? Like it's kind of like how Max says it. Like they even I was reading about the word. They still use that word on stuff sometimes. Like it's not that you know what I mean?
I mean, I know it's a racial slur, but it doesn't I don't think it's ever meant in a harsh way.
I guess I don't know.
But I'm sure it doesn't feel good to be called that,
No, of course not. No, it'd be confusing. It'd be like, what are you from 1950?
Wait, how old are you? Do you know the word jabroni?
Well, I know of the word of jabroni from The Rock.
Yeah, I mean, I think he made it famous, to be honest.
Was it around before him? What is it?
Yeah, it's been around a long time. I mean, it's a wrestling word, actually.
Okay.
I mean, someone I know has a boyfriend who's a wrestler. And I had a conversation about it with him. I was like, oh, do you know the word jabroni? Where that comes from? I figured he was in wrestling. I mean, The Rock was pretty famous. He would know, right?
Yeah, sure.
So he tells me it comes from the word jobbers. So there's a term in wrestling called a jobber, which, if you ever watch, Saturday morning wrestling in the 90s, there was always, some no-name wrestler that came out.
Some villain that got his ass kicked, yeah.
Yeah, that guy was a jabroni.
Oh,
He was a jobber. So...
Oh. Interesting.
It's a slang word for jobber, jabroni.
I picture this
it's a no-name guy that just gets his ass kicked.
I picture this guy telling you all this while he has you over his shoulder
In a figure 4.
Yeah. Yeah, he's got you up against he's pounding your head into the turnbuckle.
He's doing the big 10 count.
You guys are on a ladder trying to reach a briefcase dangling from the ceiling.
Just falling through a table.
So then, back in Patty's office, Dee and Dennis attempt to record another podcast and discover the joy of sound effects. I kind of split the scene up a little bit. When Frank comes in, I consider that a separate scene.
Okay.
So they Dennis and Dee, they're back. They got a little derailed, but they're cool. They got a hot topic this time. A real hot topic. Dennis is charged up about it. Stem cells.
That's so funny to me. How could he be? He's such a phony.
Yeah, that's what I mean. They're so funny. And why do they want to talk about the stuff that everyone is talking about? It seems like you'd want to talk about stuff people aren't talking about.
They're just being copycats. They're thinking, oh, that's what they do? I'm going to do that too. In a less unofficial way.
So, this stem cells, some people are for it, some people are against it. Now, did you look anything up with stem cells? Do you know anything about stem cells?
No, I wasn't prepared to give a stem cell seminar.
Well, you do need to perform one. No, I looked it up. I got it, and it is like you read it, and it's like it's hard to comprehend because it's all science type stuff. But basically, the controversy is about how you need to get certain embryonic stem cells from embryos from like women, like unfertilized. Like I'm not exactly sure what. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's kind of like they're considered like an abortion. It was like kind of the same.
Right, you're creating
argument.
some sort of life just to extract something from it.
Yes.
So I think that's where like the pro-life people
something like that
get upset about it. But
So that is
I mean,
the
it's for the greater good.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's like it's always comes back to religion stuff, like
Puritanical restrictions, or really jamming us up, Barrick.
Where's our Bible? Where is our Bible?
I'm gonna need a new 5 years. get on that stem cell research.
Yeah. So, but that was a very it's not so much a talking point anymore.
No, things flare up and people get roused about it. But we have to move on.
So while this is happening, though, quack quack,
ding dong.
But Dennis goes, "What was that?" And D goes, "It was a duck."
Dude, that made me laugh every time because he's just like, "That was a duck."
It was a duck.
Why would you make a duck noise right in the middle of my thing? I was doing a thing.
Well, she's up in the production.
Well, don't.
Now, and then she starts pressing like all the buttons, pressing all these different sound effect things. But finally, when she does get to a laser beam, that gets his attention.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Which one was that one?
And she points to it.
It's a laser beam. I like that one. I'm going to pep that one in.
Pepper that in is a great term.
I love that.
Pepper
yeah.
that in. So then Frank bursts into the office with a new topic, war, and he brings in Ben the soldier.
What a great guest.
Hey, Frank!
That's Frank Reynolds, everybody.
I have a great topic for you. War.
War. Good one.
Yeah, everyone's talking about the war.
And I have the perfect guest.
Okay, all right.
Ben the soldier.
Hey, D. Good to see you.
What are you doing? No. I'm not comfortable with this.
Okay, Ben is a soldier. He's in the war, probably. Not now, obviously, or unless the war is happening here. Is the war happening here? I don't know. Let's get into all this stuff. All right, great. Ben the soldier's here with us, folks, and I want to talk to him because, Ben, it's my understanding that there is a war going on right now. Am I right in this?
Well, actually, there are 2 wars
Two
right now.
war. We're in the midst of 2 wars all at once. Now, the United States of America is engaged in both of these wars?
Yes, they are.
And are either of these wars happening on U.S. Soil?
Excuse me.
What is your job in the war? Are you a carrier of large
Let me
weaponry?
just interrupt. How about if we talk about how you used to bang each other?
Yeah.
What kind of technique did you use in tie-ups and
Frank.
stuff like that? Whatever it
Frank,
was.
it's not good
Because
radio.
people like sex.
Okay, well, let's. I just want to clarify what my producer Frank is actually referring to is the fact that Ben, our soldier here, and Dee used to be lovers.
Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me.
good one.
That's not funny.
It's,
You're in the hot seat,
I'm
girl.
not in the hot seat.
Yes, you
Ben's
are.
in the hot seat.
So Frank just sort of barges in, right? I mean,
Yep. Take overtime.
take over time, and he's got a new topic, war.
That's a good one.
It's a good one. Everyone's talking about the war. And in comes Ben the soldier. But
Yeah.
D's like, I'm not comfortable with that.
I know. This would have been something you want to run by D, right?
Yeah, and now this is the thing everyone remembers from this episode. And what happens to Dennis here? He like malfunctions. Like, what would you say
Oh
is
my
happening
God.
to him?
So who is he trying to emulate? Is there a
I don't
specific
know.
person that he's trying to? Because he's doing this like obtuse host, right?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
really, he knows the answer to the questions he's asking, but he's playing dumb for the audience, right?
I don't think so. I
Well,
think
he's playing dumb for his listeners. Like, is there a war happening right now?
No, I think
like,
he genuinely doesn't know, and he's like thinking like, "Oh, I'm gonna get to the heart of it right now. I'm gonna discover something people don't know. Like I'm
'Cause
a
I feel like-
breaking journalist or something."
because to me it felt like he was leading questions, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I generally like when he says 2 wars. Like I generally think this is his first time hearing that.
We're in the midst of 2 wars all at once. Now, is the United States engaged in both of these wars?
No, what is happening to him? Like what? Like if you understand, like he's breaking down. He's like he's malfunctioning, right?
Yeah, well, like the playing dumb thing, like I feel like this is all like an act and a lie, and his voice is getting higher and higher, you know?
But he seems like he's like he's not confident of where to go next. Like he's not like he's like kind of like struggling.
This does feel improvised because he does throw in the line of like, "Now, what was your job in the war?"
Yeah.
That's not even a question. Like, what was your job in the
Were you
war?
a carrier of large weaponry? We find out his job is like some computer job.
Probably.
We
Right.
do. We find that out later on for Ben.
Oh.
But no, for right now, yeah, it's kind of kept in the dark. I like that he doesn't answer, but it is this like idea of like, are any of these wars being fought on U.S. soil? Like it is so funny. That's why I had to make it a clip. Like you gotta hear Dennis's voice. Like it's crazy.
Oh, it's the scene of the episode, I think.
And Ben is like answering as if this is like a legit thing.
Yeah. Also, just short to the point answers too.
Yeah, he's like, yes, they are. Yes, we are. Yeah, they are. Yes. And Frank interrupts, and how about they talk about how them two used to bang?
Yeah. What kind of techniques did you use? Any tie-ups, stuff like that? Tie-ups. What a weird, very specific.
And Dennis likes this. Dennis shifts, and he likes this.
Yeah, I think he finds it fun, so he's joining in on the fun.
I think maybe because he was like running out of steam and didn't know what to do with what he was doing.
Yeah, there's a bit of that too, right? That energy of like, oh, well, now there's something.
Yeah, like, oh, thank goodness they saved me. They edited me. Like in an improv thing where like, oh, I got edited. Thank goodness.
It's what you do every time in a bad scene.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta get edited, yeah. And Dennis, says like, oh, so anyone doesn't know that Ben the Soldier and Dee, they used to bang. And he does a little boing sound
Used
effect.
to be lovers.
Oh, lovers.
Yeah.
And they do the boing sound effects. And they start talking about who's in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat, girl. I love that like delivery every time.
Yeah.
Frank's got this like dumb look on his face.
The hot seat. So then, back at the ice skating rink, Mac and Charlie get themselves into an 80s style montage teaching Mac how to skate and shoot a puck. So what Mac wants to do to start here, he wants to fire out the center ice, get the crowd all pumped up. But we turn around and we see Mac's not going to do much of firing out to anything.
Yeah, he's like skating like a squatting mummy, I would say.
Do you know how to
Does
skate?
he? No.
No, me either. Not a clue.
I bet I
I'd be doing what
could if
Mac
I
did.
tried.
What are you, Mac?
I mean, it's like rollerblading, right? I when I was a kid, I used to rollerblade, and
you could be
I bet that's a translatable skill.
You could be a local skating legend.
I am.
And so we find out here that he doesn't know how to skate. No, not at all. But it's cool.
No.
He could teach. Charlie could teach him. He's got plenty of time.
I mean, presumably this is like the next day. This challenge.
No, this is all the challenge. He says it's tomorrow night.
Yeah.
So they're like and you see
They have one day
they've
to
been
train,
wearing,
really.
So I was gonna bring this up later when we get to more of the podcast. But
Yeah.
they've been out doing this hockey thing all day, and they've been in that back room podcasting all day.
Yeah.
All day they've been back there podcasting. It's all one day.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, okay, fine, I'll teach you. It's gonna be some work, but I'll teach you. And we get this song coming on here, "Push It to the Limit."
Yeah. Who's that by?
I got some info here on "Push It to the Limit." Now this is from the Always Sunny wiki page. Okay, "Push It to the Limit" by Paul Eugene from the Scarface soundtrack plays during Mac and Charlie's training. Like the movie, it plays over a montage. In the movie, the montage shows Tony's rise to power as the most powerful drug lord in Miami. The version used in this episode is a cover version performed by another band.
Interesting.
What do you think of that?
I never would have. Well, I've never seen Scarface. A lot
Well,
of
I
people are probably
watched-
going to get upset about that.
I never seen Scarface either, but I watched the montage scene on YouTube.
Oh, nice. Any? How'd you like it?
I hated it, but then there's also like, other than the song, there's nothing else in common because you know how this montage has a split screen.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking, oh, maybe that also has a split screen, but it
Right,
doesn't.
to mirror.
To mirror it, but it doesn't. We get the song playing. So as we're seeing this montage, we're getting a split screen. We're getting like a left image and a right image. So let's just talk about some of the stuff that they're doing here. So we see them now. We should also explain to me how they're going from the apartment to the ice rink, and what is happening at what time.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, there is like a bit of like on ice action and in Mac's apartment, like doing stuff, right?
It seems like they go back and forth.
Yeah. So I mean, this is like probably like a time jump, of course.
Yeah. But I'm wondering if they go from the ice rink to the apartment, back to the ice rink, back to the apartment, back to the ice rink.
Oh, you think they're going back and forth?
Doesn't that seem what
physically,
they're doing?
Yeah. It does feel like that a little bit, right?
It seems like that.
Because we get some time passage.
Yeah, because so we see them stretching in the apartment, and then Charlie's doing this thing where he's spraying Mac with ice. It's the funniest part of the montage. Charlie is spraying him,
stopping short,
and spraying ice in Mac's face like over. Is that from something?
I don't know specifically, but that's just like a thing people do.
It's supposed to be like your coach is being like real hard on him or something. Is that what that's supposed to be like signifying?
I didn't understand the meaning of that at all.
Kept doing it.
It just seems like Charlie Day can skate, and they wanted to showcase that a little bit, I guess.
So then we see Mac eating a bunch of eggs. Drinking a bunch of raw eggs.
Yeah, it looks like Charlie cracks a whole like a dozen into a glass and stirs it up for him.
This is in everything. This is in everything where they drink raw eggs. Is that a thing? What are they doing? Why do that? Is it like spinach, like in Popeye, or it makes you like? Why are they doing that?
I think that's part of a Rocky training.
But what is the medical reason? What is the idea behind it?
Just like protein or something. Because he's training, he needs protein. He needs to pack on more mass.
There's got to be an easier way than drinking raw eggs. It has to be
eating food or cooking eggs and eating them. I don't know.
Well, either way, Mac can't handle it.
Oh, he starts vomiting. And this was triggering for me because I had a recent sickness where I was vomiting.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And brought up some bad memories.
Yeah, it's never fun. And in one of the split screens, we see Charlie like behind Mac, helping him like skate along. Then in the other split screen, we see him like with a bowl of cream on the floor, but he's struggling on the rink, I should say, and he's struggling with it to like.
Yeah, he's guiding it. Yeah, I like that we get the actual bowl of cream.
Yeah.
That we talked about earlier. Nice little callback, and then we get Charlie checking Mac into the boards.
Now, why does he do this?
Just being hard on him.
Mac is even like, no, don't. Like, this is not gonna happen. Like, he doesn't need to learn this.
Charlie's preparing him for the worst,
And then we got Mac showcasing his weaponry.
That's right.
Showcasing his weaponry. And then we get them trying on wigs. Like, when is this happening? They're trying on wigs.
They had to go home to do that, of course.
And this is a great little twist.
It's a little cool shot, right?
Yeah, it's cool because it's like a twist on it where like Mac puts on the wig and Charlie puts a thumbs down, and Charlie has the wig on, he gets a thumbs up, and then for the rest of the episode, Charlie just wears the wig.
Charlie in a wig is just so funny, especially at the end with the American flag.
I had a Das Bootleg shirt with that all that on it.
Yeah, you still have that?
Nah, it's too small.
Damn, you grew out of it. You're a big boy now. Packed on too much mass.
Packed on too much mass. I sacrificed flexibility. So we see them doing martial arts and then practicing the slap shot with the duster on. So they had to have gone home to get the duster.
Yeah.
And then we got him gliding some cream here at the end, and he did it. He starts celebrating, and the whole time this song "Taking It to the Limit" is playing.
Mm-hmm.
And they do this like spinning, like hold hands spinning thing at the end.
Yeah, it's a real like come together moment.
So then back in the office at Patty's, the waitress is the next guest on Dennis and Dee's podcast. Frank literally yells, "Next guest."
Yeah, so he's like running a train through, and also we got a shot of like outside of the bar
Yeah.
to showcase it's nighttime. So they
they've been doing this
like
all
literally
day.
have been there all day, like you
How
said.
great would it have been if you like when he as he's yelling "next guest," like Artemis was leaving or something, or the big boys were leaving.
Yes,
We
that
didn't
would have
see
been a great
there or
move.
anything. We just saw
Right.
them leave. Like the next guest, yeah.
Because he calls next guest with no one else in there, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if we saw someone we knew real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Ponderosa.
Bill. Oh man, bye, Bill.
Bye, Bill. Yeah, so next guest, and the waitress comes in, and she's expecting an apology from Dennis because that's what Frank told her was going to happen.
What a great setup.
Yeah.
What a great way to lure her in.
Yeah. She falls for a lot that the gang does.
Yeah, well, they all do, you know. That's all Frank's been doing. So, like, I guess he didn't have to trick Ben the soldier to get in there.
No. Ben
He tricks
wasn't
Cricket.
tricked.
He tricks the waitress.
Yeah. Yeah, they should have mentioned somehow that he tricked Ben somehow. They
But
didn't
like
mention
Ben's
that.
such a good guy, he would do it. You
He
know,
would just do it. Yeah, he would just do it. Yeah.
like you ask a favor, like yeah, I'll just do it. That's the good, kind soldier he is, right?
Right, yeah, exactly. And Dee's pressing buttons on her soundboard here, and the fact that she came here, that makes her gullible and stupid. Well, she's not leaving until she gets an apology from Dennis.
And they just laugh, right? They
Yeah,
just
and
laugh
Dennis
at
goes,
her.
well, you're going to be there for a while. and Fizma Frank changes it to $50 to take off your top and drink soup out of my shoe.
What? Like her reaction made me laugh every time. What?
Isn't this like, no, what is this? This is like Howard Stern.
Yeah, this is Howard Stern territory. I mean, I'm not a fan of Howard Stern. I never really cared for it because it's always like sexualizing women for no reason.
Or like, yeah, like,
other
I
than
used
like
to always-
horny dudes to watch.
We're going to talk about this later where Dennis is like, this is good radio. We're like, that's what the thing about Howard Stern too. I used to always be like, well, they're taking their tops off on the radio. That doesn't really do much.
I
That's
guess
not
it's
doing
like
much for me.
excitement for the imagination of someone, I guess.
Oh, my imagination is gone.
Yeah.
It packed up so long ago. Seeing is believing. So yeah, so $50, take off her top, drink soup out of the shoe. She's like, no. And I love this like little thing of like D going, what do you say, sister? You want some cat? Like, what do you say, sister? Like the way she says, she calls her sister. And
$500.
yeah, $500. And she puts on like the clock.
Yep, we get the TikTok.
How would she hear that if they all have headphones on?
That's a good question. Why are they wearing headphones? For the aesthetic of it, right?
Yeah, just for the aesthetic. And the timer goes off, and she says, fine, she'll do it. But she's not going to take her top off.
Well, that's a relief to all of us.
And she has a great look at Dennis. Like, it's like, it sounds
Zing.
improv, like, the first time she's hearing it. Like,
Yeah,
she doesn't, like,
yeah.
look at him. Like, it's like he didn't, like, wasn't supposed to say that. But, and Frank calls for Cricket to bring in some soup. But
I like how he's been hanging out there all day, too.
Right, yeah, definitely. And Cricket comes in, couldn't find any soup, but he's got some dirty dishwater.
Now, why did Frank think there was going to be soup?
Now, Patty's doesn't seem like the type that would have soup on hand.
No. We don't really ever see them serve food until they're trying to fake their way out of a health inspection, right?
Right, yeah. Just a side note, because you mentioned that episode, it's so funny when Charlie D offers him like some other food that they don't have, and he's like, "Why did you do that?" Like they have one type of food they are gonna give to him, but D offers like a completely different thing, like as if they are a real restaurant.
A place for steaks.
Yeah. So I'm not. I don't know where the soup idea came from. I have no idea. But they got no soup, so why don't they just dump it on her?
dump it on her head.
And they start dumping out, and they start laughing, and Dennis is going, now this is good radio. And I want to know it's not. Like, that is visual. Everything that's happening is like visual. It's not good radio.
Right.
So then at the Wachovia, I could be saying this wrong. At the Wachovia Center, how do you say it?
The Wachovia Center?
Is that how you say it?
Yeah, I think so.
At the Wachovia Center, during halftime at the Flyers versus 76ers hockey game, Mac and Charlie attempt to become local sports legends.
So the Wachovia Center is now the Wells Fargo Center. If anyone gives a shit.
Oh man, what great names they name these these places.
I know.
Such cool names. The Wells Fargo Center. I can't wait to go there.
Do some banking.
Gonna get some homemade popcorn at the Wells Fargo Center. They're in this like little pen area, and they're getting ready to go out there. And Charlie's like outfit is incredible. He's got the wig on. He's got He's got a Flyers jersey and an American flag tied around his neck like a cape. It looks awesome.
He's trying to be like a. What would you say he's
He's
this
like a hype man.
pageantry?
He's a hype man.
He's a hype man. Exactly. I was trying to think of the word. Yeah, he's doing a great job because he's
doing a
fitting the
great
part.
job because he tells them that he might be careful because he might throw up and get nervous out there.
Oh, that's a good call. He looks the part. He doesn't act the part.
And when Mac's like, come on.
Why would you say that?
Well, people do
supposed to be my
that.
coach, dude.
People do that is his response. And he's talking from experience when he tried to do like the...
He does have stage fright, yeah.
Stage fright, yeah, when he's trying to do the acting and stuff. And then Dean and Dennis come up here, and I guess they're there to support Mac. They showed up to support him.
Yeah, that's why we're here. But also, since, we're here, we wanted to give you this tape.
They look so confused when he says that, too. Like, almost like they completely forgot he was doing anything. But they are there to give him the tape.
Yeah, so it's almost like they couldn't have forgotten he was there. Because they're there to see him.
Right,
but for a different reason.
So they give him... They want Mac to give the radio guys their demo tape, they call it. Mm-hmm. And they were recording on the computer, but the computer has some water on it, so they went and taped their podcast on a cassette. Apparently, is that
so they
a whole
ditched
new
it.
thing, yeah.
So I guess they ditched that recording, went back to Frank's cassette recorder, whatever the hell you call that thing, and they taped over that Luther Vandross mix.
Yeah, like what is this, Luther Vandross? Oh, it's very off-putting.
Yeah, we should have relabeled that.
Tell them it's not Luther Vandross. Now, what do they think what do they want to happen? What do they think is going to happen?
They think they're going to be discovered, They have that yearning to be famous like Mac does,
Right. Well, Preston and Steve introduces Mac from South Philly to come on out there. And all right, everyone say a prayer.
Let's do this.
And they all look, when he says let's say a prayer, they all look around. Like they don't say a prayer. They don't even put their heads down or anything. They just kind of go like, So yeah, he goes out there. Mac comes out. They come skating out. Mac and Charlie, and they skate around. And what do you? I describe this in my notes as a little dance / shuffle.
Yeah, they do this choreographed dance routine.
But it's so little.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's
it's not over the top. It's just enough to be we put on a little bit of a show. Now we're gonna just to pump the audience up,
pump the audience, get everyone excited. And they come skating up, and he comes skating up to Preston and Steve, and he holds up the Luther Vandross mix.
What is that?
It's the future of radio. You jabronis.
Jabronis, cool word.
He tosses them the tape, and that's again. It makes me think. Higher Love is gonna kick in right after he says that.
Now I love the rest of this because it's certainly shot in a different way, right? Different style. It's almost cinematic.
Right. Oh yeah. It's supposed to be the dramatic ending to a movie or something. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Max skates up, takes the puck out of his duster pocket,
slaps it on the ice.
He does what he says. He does a wicked slap shot.
It goes right through that
the goalie's crotch.
We were saying that barrier of some sort.
Yeah. Blows his crotch open. Score! Everyone starts going crazy.
Mac from South Philly has cemented himself as a Philly sports legend. Let's hear it for Mac.
Mac. Everyone starts cheering Mac. He cemented himself as a Philly sports legend for doing.
That's the perfect like dream sequence like line, right?
Yeah,
all
of
Mac's
course.
dreams has come true.
Because we get this shot of Charlie chanting Mac, and then we fade out to Charlie like trying to wake Mac up, saying Mac, Mac, Mac. Mac rolls over. He fell, crushed the Luther Vandross mix.
It's all over his face.
Who took the shot?
I did. I missed wide right by a mile.
It was terrible. He says it was terrible.
It's terrible.
So yeah, Charlie took the shot. He missed.
Look at the bright side, dude. I think you could be a sports celebrity after all. They're definitely gonna play that shit on ESPN.
And we see like with some like cartoony sound effects, Mac falling over. Oh, Mac does say at the beginning of this, "What happened?" And Charlie says, "You fell almost immediately." So yeah, we see him falling over and over again on the big scoreboard, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, the Jumbotron.
The Jumbotron. What a great name, Jumbotron.
I know. It's so cool.
Rose, what is your favorite character?
This is a tough one, you know?
Yeah.
Kind of goes right down the middle. I might give it to Dennis just because of his...
Two wars.
Two wars?
And the U.S. is engaged in both these wars?
These wars?
I'm going to give it to Mac.
He is fun. He's a lot of
Mac
fun in
going
this
on.
episode.
And what is your
You're
favorite
right.
line?
I'm
of
changing my
dialogue?
answer to Mac.
Okay, cool. What's your favorite
That's
line?
going to be my thing now. I'm just going to change my answer every time.
That's a good thing. People like that. What is your favorite line of dialogue?
It might be Dennis when he... Or, you know what? It's going to be Cricket's monologue.
Yeah, Cricket's I was thinking that too. That was a close second. Cricket's monologue is incredible. Now, I'm not going to try to get in the mind of a dog.
Right. It's like the delivery and...
The lemon in the middle.
Yeah, everything about it is pretty outstanding, you know?
I'm gonna go with because it's what I think of a lot when I think of this episode is this is not regulation ground. Like the asphalt, this is not regulation asphalt.
Right. Mac just blaming something that can't be at fault.
He can't take responsibility for anything he's ever done. So it's
Yeah,
not
he chose to be out
regulation
there
asphalt.
too, by the way. It's not
Like, no one said
he
it's
was placed in
regulation.
this.
Yeah.
No one guaranteed you anything, dude. You got into the situation.
And what is your favorite scene?
My favorite scene is going to be when Ben the Soldier is interviewed.
Oh, okay, that's good. Yeah, I mean, but I think I'm gonna go with that street hockey scene when they're out there on the street and when he's like, now hold the hockey stick, hold the hockey stick. He's like, all my instincts are training, like all of that. I mean, it's incredible.
That's a
scene.
great scene. A close second was the montage for me.
Oh yeah, the montage is great.
Just because
too,
we
yeah.
get some so few and far between. I don't think we've gotten one in quite a while since
Yeah.
Charlie's training for his fight.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, it's been a while.
I think. I mean, maybe there was another one, but the few and far between.
Okay, so that brings us next to what is usually the IMDb Trivia Challenge, but not today. Today
Dude. Are we doing something completely different today? What's
Yeah,
going on?
Because the trivia that was on the wiki and the trivia that was on the IMDb was no good. It was no good. It was.
I mean, they're never good, Eric. What the?
No, but this was
What
less,
happened?
This was This was in the negatives. This was
How
less
could that be
than
possible?
good. They were just bad. So today I have stupid trivia challenge, and that is going to be about the Boston Bruins. Ross, these are 3 trivia facts. One of them is a real trivia fact about the Boston Bruins, and the other 2 are made up by me. The Boston Bruins hockey team, hockey organization.
The stupid trivia challenge is what I call this segment usually.
Yeah, right. So I guess it's normal. All right, Ross. So again, one of these is a real trivia fact about the Boston Bruins hockey team, and the other 2 are made up by me. Guess the correct one. Number 1. The original name for the Boston Bruins were the Boston Peacocks. Number 2. Bobby Orr scored 38 goals in a Bruins versus the Montreal Canadiens match.
Okay.
What's so funny about that?
Side note.
Yeah.
Side story. Bobby Orr met me.
That's like when Steven Tyler met me.
Met
It's one of
you.
those stories.
Yeah.
I didn't know you knew Bobby Orr.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I met him once.
So, and number 3, Ross, The Boston Bruins were the first American team to be a member of the NHL.
What was the last one?
The one I just read?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was looking at something. I wasn't even listening. I'm sorry. We gotta edit this out.
The Boston Bruins were the first American team to be a member of the NHL.
All those sound ridiculous.
You want me to go through it one more time?
Yeah, sure.
Number 1, the original name for the Boston Bruins were the Boston Peacocks. Number 2, Bobby Orr scored
skip
38
that one.
goals in a Boston first Montreal Canadiens. Well, you don't think someone could score 38 goals? Number 3,
No, I mean, if anyone can, it was Bobby Orr. So,
he did it while flying through the air or whatever. It's like a great story.
well, yeah. Well, you know what? Here's my Bobby Orr story. I was caddying at a golf tournament, and it was a member guest tournament. So every member of the golf course got to bring a special guest. And usually this is at the time when, members of the course call in, celebrities of some sort, someone of noteworthy. So the party in front of us, Bobby Orr was in. So the course is backed up that day because it's a big tournament. And so there's a group on the tee, and we're behind them waiting on the tee. So this is like a backed up situation. And Bobby Orr is just standing there, and I'm, standing there as well. He turns around, just looks around, and he comes over to me and just starts talking to me. He just puts out his hand. He's like, "Hi, I'm Bobby Orr." Like everyone's been talking about how Bobby, I know you're here, dude. You don't have to say it, but he ended up giving everyone an autographed photo of him doing that famous fly through the air shot.
And he was and he didn't tell you about that story. That time he scored 38 goals.
And then he tried to kiss me. It was weird.
I don't think so, Ross. No one tried to kiss you.
Well, that part's true. No one's trying
Ross, number 3, the Boston Bruins were the first American team to be a member of the NHL. Which is the correct one? 1, 2, or 3?
I'm going to say 1.
The original team of the Boston Peacocks, Ross, that is incorrect. The Boston Bruins were the first American team to be a member of the NHL, right behind the Montreal Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens. Or the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Well, here's the question.
Canadiens.
How could they be in a league of their own? So who are they playing against if they're the only person in the league?
I think there was the way, however they inducted the teams, the Bruins were first. So it was those first.
Oh, so maybe
teams.
they did a batch at a time, but they were the first?
Yeah, they were technically the first American team in the NHL.
Of maybe 5, right?
Of 3, I think. 3 teams.
Okay.
Because they were the third in the NHL all together, with only the Toronto Maple Leafs and the Montreal Canadiens ahead of them.
Interesting.
By the way, Montreal Canadiens, come on, guys.
I mean, that's
come on.
What?
That's like a placeholder name. That's we'll think of something later. The Montreal Canadiens.
The Boston Americans.
The Boston people. I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, Ross, you failed that as you fail.
Most things.
You squandered that question like you squandered all questions.
All my opportunities.
That brings us to our final thoughts on this episode. Ross, please tell me, what do you think? You can't censor this episode. It's a bit of a badass. Or this episode is not regulation asphalt.
It's a bit of a badass. Come on.
Yeah, I mean, it's packed with funny.
It's awesome.
It's only 20 minutes and it flies by.
It does.
There's barely any locations. Dennis and Dee don't really leave the office.
Right. It's a static situation there. And then, the apartment and the rink? Essentially, those are the only places we go.
And I don't know if you noticed this. Did you notice that they didn't show Dee, below her, shoulders,
yeah.
basically?
She's sitting down
episode?
the whole time.
She's behind the bar. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I love this. I love this episode. I really do. And not just because it's in our intro. I mean, that's partly why, but.
I mean, there was a lot to love because of that. Every time I heard a clip, I was like, oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, I know.
One thing I wanted to talk about with continuity. I know at the beginning of the episode, we see Charlie and Mac in the office. There's a bunch of shit on the wall.
Yeah.
Like a radio that what I thought was the diegetic radio. When Dennis and Dee are recording their podcast, that shit isn't there at all. So, it almost looks like a different setup entirely.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all. I didn't catch that. It's interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Just something I wanted to mention before we exited.
It's something you'll be thinking about as you go to sleep tonight and first thing when you wake up in the morning.
Well, not that I got it off my chest. I'll sleep like a baby.
What we get going on next episode?
Next episode we are covering is Mac and Charlie, White Trash.
Now, what can we expect from this episode?
We get to mourn Jamie Nelson.
That's right. In the swimming pool, we get to have cut off jean shorts.
That's right. We get a greasy watermelon.
A greasy watermelon. That's right.
Yeah.
Do you remember one of our improv teammates told a story about like a greasy watermelon?
Watermelon,
like it was like a real thing.
This is a real thing people do.
we were on stage when he was telling that story, and we were blown away.
I was kind of thinking about It's Always Sunny when he said that.
I was too. I was like, wow, it's a real thing. We got drowning.
We get the
in
gang
pools.
getting boxed out.
The gang getting boxed out. That's right. Yeah, from the country, from like the pool club.
Yeah, the country club. What else? We got.
I mean, we got most of. We got most of the episode is Charlie and Mac inside the pool. I mean, they're in like that pool for a lot. I think.
Yeah, they're in that pool for a lot of the time.
This is what Mac will do. Mac will run up. He'll run up the wall. What does he say? He'll do a backflip or something. Like, do a back. Charlie's like, do a backflip right now.
Yeah, he's like, you know what? This move actually requires a front flip. He's like, you can't even do a front flip. He's like, do one now. He's like, well, what if I need to do one later? You need to do one now, and you can't do it.
It's great. This episode is very funny, and you know what? I actually, you could probably edit this out if you want because it might not come true. But I think that our previous guest Anthony from our improv team wants to do this episode.
This is the first I'm hearing of this. I think
we had a little text back and forth. He's interested on getting back on the pod, and he mentioned this episode. I said, yeah, we'll get you, and then I forgot.
Oh, very cool. Well, you might want to remind him because he has to start taking notes.
Yeah, I will get on that. Well, you at home, thank you so much for listening. You do not have to take notes. We got that covered. And, thank you so much for listening. We appreciate it. And until we meet again, good day to yous.
Always Sunnycast is not endorsed or affiliated with Always Sunny in Philadelphia, the FXX Network, or Philadelphia. The views and opinions expressed on this podcast are those of Eric Regan and Ross Northrup. Email questions, thoughts, suggestions, corrections, or things we just plain forgot to alwayssunnycastpod@gmail.com. If you have a moment, please rate, subscribe, and review the podcast. And, as always, thanks for listening, you jabronis.